ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time for What Do You Call It? Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of What Do You Call It? Podcast. I'm your host, GB, and today's guest is the Mohawk master of the suplex. It's the Suplex Assassin, Alex Kane. How you doing today, mate? You all right?
I'm good. I'm real good. I'm excited.
Good, man. Thank you for coming on the show today. It is much appreciated. I want to kickstart the show by talking about your first memory of wrestling. So basically, when did you discover wrestling?
I discovered wrestling. I went to this yard sale in my neighborhood, and this kid was selling some like wrestling stuff, and he had the Stone Cold Demolition VHS tape. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I didn't know who Steve Austin was, but he kind of explained to me who Stone Cold Steve Austin was. And I bought that and I took that home and I watched it, and I was in awe of how awesome Steve Austin was.
Oh, that's sweet, mate. So Stone Cold was basically your introduction to wrestling. Did you have any other favorites growing up?
As I got into it more, The Rock, Shelton Benjamin, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Maven for a little bit.
Maven?
Yeah, Maven. I really like Maven more for his like theme song than anything.
Oh, he's good in it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be stuck in my head now. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No issues, mate. But he's never been once mentioned on the show. I've done about 31 episodes, so nice, man. And awesome theme song. For anyone that's not heard of Maven, go Google or YouTube his theme song right now. Anyway, so I'd like to basically talk about your journey into pro wrestling. And you actually competed in both wrestling and rugby at college level. Mm-hmm. Rugby being a very big sport where I'm from in the UK. I just want to ask, did you have the same passion for rugby as you did for wrestling?
No, rugby was kind of like my way out of collegiate wrestling because I was kind of burned out on it. Oh, okay. So the athletic director was like, yo, if you guys want to come try out rugby, because I feel like rugby and wrestling kind of go hand in hand a little bit. Mm-hmm. As far as like the physicality and some of the techniques used to bring people down to the ground. So it wasn't like a oh my God, like I gotta play rugby. It was like, let me try this out. Let me see what this is like.
Okay, I get you, mate. But you was good at it though. But that's cool, man. I want to ask then, you did wrestling in college and school. Did you do wrestling because you found that as a way to become a wrestler? Because I've heard that before, or was it something that you just naturally was good at?
When I initially walked into my first wrestling practice in middle school, mm-hmm. I was like, I walked in the room like, so like, where are the steel chairs? Where's the wrestling ring? Where's the rope? Where's all this? What is this?
Yeah.
I was like, and the coach was like, we don't do that fake stuff around here. I'm like, fake? Whatever. We'll give this a try. So yeah. But I do feel like everything that I've done in my life has prepared me for professional wrestling.
Mm. No, I get you, mate. And sorry about the disappointment, but I just want to know, because you've actually done sort of powerlifting, and you've actually done a 500-pound deadlift without using the belt. Now, mm-hmm. I'm not an expert in powerlifting or gym because I haven't been to a gym for a very long time, but I want to know, what does your training consist of? Because I know the listeners want to hear about this, because you've got quite a good physique,
my training is a lot of, well, now it's a lot of like trying to like sculpt and like try to put on as much size as possible. But around that time, it was a lot of power movements, of course. So like the big three: deadlift, squat, and bench. But I try to work out at least 3 to 4 times a week. Mm-hmm. And in there for me, it's just trying to like get stronger every day. So like if I'm in a set, no matter what the lift is, like I'm trying to go up at least like 5 or 10 pounds each set. Just to like, I like to challenge myself. And if I don't get it, I don't get it, but at least I tried.
No, I get you, mate. I get you. And I want to go back to something you just said that basically, like, yeah, things that you've done in your life have prepared you to pro wrestling. What actually inspired you to become a pro wrestler and take that leap forward?
I think the moment that I saw it, like watching that VHS,
Hmm.
like just the atmosphere of the arena, and like the level of entertainment that was there. Because like growing up, I was kind of shy,
Hmm.
but like if I was like around like a big group of people, my first thought in my mind was, let me see if I can entertain these people. So that really like drew me in. And then also like wrestling in high school, college, and in middle school,
Mm.
um, like you're wrestling in front of like a large gym of people, like, and all eyes are on you. And I always liked that feeling.
No, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. And where was it that you trained? Was it with AR Fox?
Yeah, AR Fox, yes, the
And
man.
what was the school? I really like it. My first instruction to him was PWG, and oh mate, some of the stuff he did, like I'm surprised he could still walk. But
It is very surprising. I
I,
wonder that every day.
what was the biggest challenges for you when it came to training?
Remembering spots. Like I remember asking Fox, like, do I have to do spots? Like these are so like complicated and like it's so much to remember. But like he was really patient with me.
Mm.
And we found ways to kind of get around that, or found ways to make it more instinctual for me. So
Hmm.
that made doing spots and stuff really much easier for me. Um, I think another thing was like bumping, because it's like it's so unnatural to do.
Hmm.
Like you have to fall, you have to tuck your chin or whatever. And like when you're first starting out, they have you like slap the mat. But that was kind of hard for me too.
No, I get that. I've only done one day training, and it was pretty difficult, and there's a reason why I'm sitting on here. But I respect anyone that does it. How was AR Fox, by the way, as a coach? I think just the way you spoke about him just before I asked the question, biggest challenges. You basically, had a smile on your face already. So, what was he like?
He's really patient. Like he's not a hard ass. I mean, I've heard stories about other coaches, they're like overly aggressive about it, and he's just
Mm.
kind of chill. Unless you learn at your own pace. He watches so much wrestling, so like no matter what your style is, like he can like give you pointers on what direction to take. Like with
Mm.
me, with my amateur background, like he was like giving me guys like Josh Alexander, Jeff Cobb, Brody Lee, just so many like awesome like powerful guys or whatever for me to watch.
Yeah.
Um, Brock Lesnar was probably his favorite for me to study and to watch. So like it doesn't matter like what your style is, because he's wrestled literally everybody that's on television right now.
Mm.
And all pretty much all the people that are like high up on the indies. So like if there's anybody in wrestling to learn from, it's him.
Yeah, that's good to hear, man. I'm a big fan of him. I do like him, and I like to be involved as well. I just want to know who did your theme song, by the way. It's awesome.
His name is Lacey the Great. He's a fairly accomplished artist in his own
Mm.
right. But so we did these Thursday night school shows, and this is like pre-pandemic. And like either like the YouTube link wouldn't work,
Mm.
or like something would happen like technical difficulty wise. And he approached me at a show, and he was like, yo, I can make you a theme song. And I was like, really? What? Okay. All right. So I like sent him some stuff. And he actually made two songs for me. The first one, I wanted like that Shelton Benjamin gold standard type vibe,
Yeah,
but
good
it
song.
didn't it didn't the first one didn't really work out that well, because
Mm.
I think he was kind of doing it more for like what I wanted, and less outside of this, less in his style.
Yeah.
So the second song, which is the song I use now, I was like, yo, look, I want you to be completely comfortable making this song. I'm gonna send you like what I want in the song, and I just let him run with it. And he told me he pretty much freestyled the entire thing, which is really awesome. Um, but yeah, and the rest is history at this point.
Nah, that's sweet, man. Especially like because you only been. I was actually surprised when I found out you've only been wrestling for like 2.5 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a lot longer. And you know, I think a lot of people, they do get into wrestling, they'll pick like generic rock songs, or you know, especially back in the 2000s, like it's always Skillet or something. Or but for you to already have that creativity and to have your own theme song, you know, it says a lot about you. I think, in my opinion, sort of makes you a bigger star. One thing I want to ask is, you have over 100 different suplexes, which is mental. On the spot, can you name me 10? On the spot right now.
On the spot, German, gut wrench, release suplex, which is my favorite. The angle slam, which before I started using it, I was like, is this a suplex? But it is a suplex. Overhead belly to belly, side belly to belly, capture, my finish, which is kind of its own capture, head and leg. What is it? T danger, which is kind of like it's like a wrist clutch, but from behind. And then the Saito.
You can go more if you want. Nah, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's ask. So you were actually the second selection in the 2021 Open Draft in MLW, Major League Wrestling. Big company, great company, produces solid wrestling. Who are you looking forward to suplexing in MLW?
To be frank, everybody, but Fatu, Hammerstone, EJ Naduka, I think that's his name. I hope I didn't butcher it. Myron Reed, Jordan Oliver. Who else?
Dave Richards.
Davey Richards, definitely. I heard he kicks really hard, but I like that.
Richard Holiday, just Richard, because.
Just because. Richard Holiday, just because. Maybe I can suplex some of the douche out of him.
Yes. Oh, mate, you and Fatu would be such a good match. Just going at it.
Yeah, definitely. I think September 4th, I'll be in like a fatal four-way with him, but I definitely want a one-on-one match with him.
Oh, mate, take my money. That'd be fucking awesome. That'd be so good. I want to ask, because I kind of skipped ahead, but I want to talk about, actually, you mentioned it, the pandemic. What was it like for you? Because I know you were active and I was sort of keeping up to date, but you actually kept yourself kind of busy during the pandemic. How was it for you to still be a pro wrestler in a pandemic?
At first, with not having fans and stuff, it was kind of difficult because like I like to play off the crowd.
Yeah.
But I guess I kind of got used to not wrestling in front of fans for a little bit, and it actually made wrestling a little bit easier because then I could though people like watching a stream or whatever, you could kind of like really figure out who you are and what you wanted to be. And I feel like though like the pandemic sucked, like I feel like some people didn't take advantage of the pandemic because a lot of places got shut down. So there were only so many places that you could work, and the spotlight was really put on those places. So you really had to bring your A game. And like the pandemic wrestling is, I think if the pandemic didn't happen, I don't know if I'd be where I am right now. I probably would have took another year or two for me to be here, but I feel like it accelerated, like I guess like my growth and my popularity.
Yeah, I think I sort of noticed that, you know, your popularity was going up, especially on social media. And I think you've even pointed out that you have got more followers because obviously you was able to stand out, be spotlighted, where other companies or other people just weren't taking advantage. And I respect you for that, especially during times like that. I mean, we're still technically in it, but we are coming out of it. So you've got to be positive. That's the main thing. For your debut, by the way, I just want to talk about that quickly. Did you have any friends or family there? Because when I've spoken to people before, they'll say like they had like their mum front row or they had like their mates or whatever. But I just want to hear about your experience. What was your debut like?
My debut, well, my singles debut was against AR Fox, but like my debut was in I think it was called like the Scrap Battle. It was like a battle royal type deal, and then like when you get to like the end, it becomes like a fatal four-way hardcore match. But yeah, all my family was there, my nephews. It was a dope experience. I basically just got to come in and like just throw everybody and like just like show off my physical prowess. it was really a cool experience. If I could go back and do it again, I'd probably do a few things differently, but it was fun.
Nice, man. Do you find yourself to be like your biggest critic? Are you quite harsh on yourself sometimes?
Yeah, and I always try to tell people like now, like don't like. I mean, like be hard on yourself, but don't be like so hard to where like you make yourself feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, and like as long as you take what you learned in that match, and you apply those critiques to the next match or whatever, that's how you become a better wrestler. It's continuing to learn and apply.
Good answer, man. I like that. Got your head screwed on. I like that. I really do. When you're not wrestling, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I like to work out, but I mean, I feel like that's everybody. But like being in the gym, playing video games, eating.
Don't know why that made me laugh. Sorry.
Spending time with my girlfriend. Yeah, and like coming up with like new things that I can do in the ring, like watching wrestling and like trying to like figure out new sequences or new ways to manipulate the body to throw somebody. So I like to kind of get creative.
Have you wrestled outside of America yet?
I have not, but I'm looking forward to it.
Have you got anyone lined up, or are you not allowed to say yet?
I don't have anything lined up, but I mean, definitely the UK, Japan, Germany at some point. Yeah, pretty much those places are right at the top of my list.
Nice, man. We'd love to have you over here. You'll get over easily. Definitely with a suplex, man. People will be rooting for you. That'd be awesome. So just to wrap this up, if a fan had never heard of you and you could only show them one match of your career so far, what match would you show them to introduce them to the Suplex Assassin, Alex Kane?
Can we do two?
Go for it.
Two.
You're the guest, mate. You're the guest. You can go three if you want.
My match with Brian Keith at what was it? The Big Star IWTV Family Reunion from WrestleMania weekend. We'll do three. My match with O'Shea Edwards at Action Wrestling. You can't do that in a wrestling ring. It's on IWTV. Actually, both of those are on IWTV. And then my match with Cole Radrick from SUP, Southern Underground Pro.
Nice. So they're the matches that you'd introduce someone that's never heard of you, but hopefully after listening to this, they are going to YouTube you, and they're going to basically want to find out where they can find you on social media. If you can tell the listeners right now, where can they find the Suplex Assassin, Alex Kane? You
can find me on Twitter at Alex_Kane11, Instagram at the Suplex Assassin, and on TikTok at the Suplex Assassin.
Fair enough, man. I'm too old for TikTok.
No one's too old for TikTok. No one's too old for a good time.
Nah, that's good, man. It's good as long as you enjoy it, man. It's one of those things, man. I struggle with Twitter as it is, like, but I'm not older than people think I am. But I'm not going to reveal the age on the podcast. One last question, actually.
What are you, like 25?
I'm 32, mate.
We'll go with 25.
I would say best guest ever. Thank you very much. No, I mean that. And there's no money involved in this, people. So the last question I'm actually going to have, because I want to ask, because you are the Suplex Assassin, if you could pick one celebrity to suplex on the spot, who would you pick?
One celebrity to suplex.
I'm trying to think who the Americans hate at the moment. Who do they hate?
Who do we hate? Well, we obviously know who we hate the most, but I don't want to say that.
That's fair.
You know what? I'm gonna keep it in wrestling. I'd love to suplex The Rock.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bring him back to your childhood hero then. So I won't ask the dream match. It's gonna be The Rock. I would have expected maybe Taz or something. Maybe.
Nah. I'm a fan of Taz, but he's not.
Has Taz not reached out to you yet?
No, he's not. I'd be surprised if he even knows if he even knows who I am.
He must know, man. Because what we do, we'll promote this episode and we'll be annoying and tag him in it, and then we might both get blocked though, but we'll be worth it.
After what I said, he might be offended.
That is true.
He might be offended.
He's a little bit insecure.
But he's definitely like Taz is definitely an inspiration of mine. Like I study Taz daily.
Yeah.
Because I mean his arsenal was insane. And I mean, like when it comes to suplex creativity, he was the guy. But I mean, Taz now, if I could wrestle Taz in his prime, yes. Taz now.
I mean, now would just be like it's a massacre, right?
Yeah, it'd be a massacre. But Taz in his prime, definitely. I definitely like to have that match. Is it a dream match? No, but would I want to wrestle him? Yes. A dream match for me would be Shelton Benjamin. That would be a dream match for me currently because he's still going hard.
I mean, like when he had that run, the first one, WWE, I think it's a crime that he never won the title. I mean, he had a good run with the Intercontinental and the US title and the tag team belts, but it's just when he was on form, like against Angle and Jericho and Christian and just stealing the show, he generally was. And he just, I don't know what it is. I think they just sort of.
For a lot of people have said, like, I remember I think it was either a Steve Austin podcast or X-Pac, but like, they basically said, like, I guess he wasn't like the best at promos, but I'm like, you could have put him with Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Like easily. That would have been believable. I don't necessarily think that you have to be able to cut a promo to be a champion or whatever. I think that you need to be over, and Shelton Benjamin's always been over.
He was over. You could have put like Elijah Burke or something. Shelton in the ring was probably one of the best, not just in WWE, in the world.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. So definitely be able to wrestle, go one-on-one with him would be, I'd be a kid in the candy store.
You'll be queued up in the meet and greet with everyone.
Yeah.
Just before the show. I'm wrestling you after, but
yes, that's what we mean.
That's awesome, mate. I want to thank you very much for coming on today. It's been a fun show, and we've had a nice little chat. For everyone that's listened to this episode, there is going to be more of What Do You Call It podcast coming out very soon. But for now, I want you all to stay tuned for my sponsors. Take care.